From LALATE headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons LALATE.
It's a breaking news report for Afternoons LA today, as that Consumer Price Index number, the most expected number of the last month, came in, and it surged out of control. We'll go over the latest details you need to know about that CPI with a May read of 8.6%, and the number released today, 9.1%. Not good. We'll have the latest details on what you need to know across the board. As inflation continues to track higher, we'll go over what you need to know. What you have to do is go into this video, become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casino VIP. Get those incredible forced stimulus checks in every USA, because the economy is not slowing down. The economy is not going the way it should be going. As inflation tracks higher, not peaking, growth is stalling up, and recession is upon us. Get those forced stimulus checks in every U.S. state. Do it for your good, and do it for your family. Do it right today. Go right in this video, become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Casino VIP. That CPI read, folks, was not good. We expected a higher read, a higher number than the month of May. This is a June number released this morning, and it was literally out of control. Literally out of control. I'll have in today's recording the impact on your money. Part of this is actually good. It's your benefits are going up a lot. A lot. The initial projection from the Social Security Administration is that your benefits will go up 8%. That's about $300 more a month, $3,600. Now, they're likely to track even higher if this number continues to read out as where it is. A lot of reports in the last few minutes say 10 to 11%. I'm saying 9%, but it's all dependent on gasoline. That's why you have to get these forced stimulus checks in every U.S. state. This money, the situation is changing very dramatically, and we have that money for you. It's available today. It's federal stimulus from the President of the United States. It's $100,000 in every U.S. state. You get this incredible sums of money. How do you do it? You stay to the very end of this recording. Stay the second half as we go over all these incredible checks. They're in every U.S. state. They're federal stimulus. $100,000. You qualify. Single individual, $75,000 or less. Married couple, $150,000 or less. And if you're on benefits, you qualify as well. It's a big, bold, beautiful day with a lot of breaking news. We're going to go over everything you need to know. It's Afternoons, and it all starts right now. Good afternoon, everybody. What a day it is. That CPI released earlier today, and it was out of control. The Consumer Price Index number, which gauges where inflation's going, was expected to go higher than the month of May. But how much higher did it go? In the month of May, it tracked at 8.5%. What did that number reveal today? It revealed a lot more. The projection coming in today was supposed to be 8.9%. It was not 8.9. It was not 8.6 like the month of May. It came in at a whopping 9.1%. This is out of control. The only part of this that's good news for you is that your benefits are likely to go up an astronomical amount of money. Not $300 more per month, upwards of $400 a month, likely $4,800 more per year on your benefits side. That's if you're on SSI and SSDI. Boy, folks, this is why you got to get a fourth stimulus check. In this recording, I'm going to show you how to get these incredible fourth stimulus checks. They're huge. How do you get them? You go right in this video, become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casino VIP. Stay to the second half as we go over these incredible fourth stimulus checks in every U.S. state. Let's get a preview of these fourth stimulus checks starting right now. These four stimulus checks were made law in the month of May. You can't wait to get that money. Let's look at them right now. These four stimulus checks became law earlier this year. They are in every U.S. state. They're a whopping $100,000 on average. Huge sums of money. You qualify. Single individual, $75,000 or less. Married couple, $150,000 or less. Done by executive order by Joseph Biden. So this is federal stimulus passed in March. It's in every U.S. state because it's federal stimulus. It's not from your states. And you qualify, especially if you're on SSI and SSDI, veterans benefits and more. How do you get it? You stay the second half and get that financial freedom. You stay the second half as we go over it. Become a member. Go right in this video right now. Join and become a member of this channel and get that newsletter that everyone is talking about and get it from LALATE. We're going to go over all those details later in this recording. Become a member right now. But let's start with the breaking news across the board today. Stagflation. Yeah, I'm starting to get a little worried that we'll have to see stagflation, but let's start with what happened with that major read that came in on that inflationary front. That inflationary front shocked Americans today as a number came higher than expected. But to understand this, we need to bring it back to day one of early February 2021. In February 2021, not this year, 2022, last year, 2021, Federal Reserve and Wall Street said that inflation was going to go higher in the U.S. economy. This is February of last year. And they said 2 to 3%. It was going to be transitory, temporary. At the time, February of last year, I said it's not. I said it's going to be 8%. It's going to be persistent. Everyone looked at me like, who is this kid? Where's he getting this data from? I know what I'm doing. I know my business. I know how this works. And I was the only American financial broadcaster saying it's going to be 8% and persistent inflation. Today you know that. Today you know that. Because today the inflation has not yet peaked. It's still going up in the month of July. How did you and I, as viewers, as members, as subscribers, as part of this Purple Power community, know this before the announcement came today? You knew this because I had the data for you last week. Last week, we had the warning signal, and it was the core personal consumption number that was released. This used to be a benchmark used by the Federal Reserve to gauge inflation, and this is why you have to watch the data, because you don't want to wait to hear the news after the fact. You want to know the news before it happens. And that core personal consumption number had a headline inflation number in there, and it showed that for the month of March, it was 6.6%, April 6.3%, May 6.3%. That number, May, which just came out a few days ago in late June, that showed that inflation had not gone down. So clearly, we and you and I all understood that inflation has not gone down. Second, we also understood that inflation has two components: price of goods at the supermarkets and then gasoline. Are the price of goods that you're paying for in the supermarket the same or gone down? Jump in the live chat. Same or gone down. I want to see your comments. I expect you to say the same. That's likely what's happened. And then what about the price of gasoline? This is interesting because gasoline did go down in the second half of last month, but not a lot. Last night, Brent crude, international Brent crude, has fallen from 120 to 98, so it's down from even when Putin invaded Ukraine. But gasoline has remained pervasively high. So you and I understood that that CPI number being released today was going to be higher than the month of May. But how much higher? How much higher did we expect? In the month of May, it was 8.5%, and we were expecting an 8.6, 8.7, 8.8, 8.9. No one in their right mind was projecting a whopping inflationary rate coming in today of that CPI of 9.1%. This is a shocker, folks. No one saw this coming. Let's go over the data and what happened just minutes ago. Core personal consumption index, consumer price index number rose 9.1%. This is year to date for the month of June. This is higher than the May read, and that May read was at 8.6%. The month of June, released minutes ago, came in at a whopping 9.1%. This is the highest number we've seen since 1981 on terms of increase. The pervasive projection for today was supposed to be 8.8%, so this 9.1 is a shocker. It really is a shocker. Food and energy core PCPI rose from 5.9% when Wall Street was expecting 5.7%. Hourly wages fell 1% at the same time. So guess what? Yeah, you're making less money, and yet prices are going up a lot. On a monthly basis, let's look at this number. This headline CPI rose 1.3%. The core CPI was up as well. So month to month, it's still up as well. Let's go over the analysis and what some of the analysts say minutes ago. The analysts are saying the following when looking at the CPI number minutes ago. CPI delivered another shock, and as painful as June's high number is, it's equally as bad as broadening sources of inflation. Through CPI spike is led by energy and food prices, which are largely global. It continues to be pervasive, says Robert Fick at National Federal Credit Union. Why is the number particularly higher? Let's go over the analysis right now. First, let's go over what other people are saying, and then I'll give you my analysis of it right now. The reason why it surged was because energy prices surged 7.5% in 1 month, while they were up 42% year to date. 42% in 1 year. Can you imagine? And then when you look at the food part of the equation, they were up 1%. This is the 6th consecutive month where food is up. Much of this comes as airlines see a slight decline, even though up to 34% year to date. Your real income, however, is down. Your real income is down dramatically, down about 3.6% year to date. And that is a brand new number today as well. Then we also have indication today that supply chain disruption, which was initially the cause of inflation, has really eased. I see a light at the end of the tunnel, says Brian Antonella, Senior Vice President of Fleet Operations, Fleet Advantage. For probably 10 to 15 years before the pandemic, we fell into a stable routine. The challenge we face today is that it's 10 to 20% of what cost bucket you're talking about. Biden reacted to the news minutes ago. The President of the United States said the following, that tackling inflation is my top priorities. There's some reason to think that the July number will cool, says some analysts. Do I agree? No. Gas prices have come down from their June peak, which are now tracking at about $4.64 U.S. domestic unleaded, according to AAA, and that's a 4.7% drop month to date. That we know that's true. And supply chain disruption has eased as well, but there's a lot of reaction coming in today. Antonella says, "Do the people honestly think that they're not trying to overcharge the customer? They're not being predatory about it. They're trying to find the fine line." Reaction to stocks today was broad, and the reaction was not particularly good. American Airlines fell 2% and 5%. Royal Caribbean fell 2%, and the recessionary worries continue to grow. As Cliff Corso says, it could be the case where we're in a recession, very mild one. We're heading into recession. We're not heading into recession. We're in a recession, Corso. And let's look at some of the other data as well. Michael Schumacher, Wells Fargo, reacted to the news. Big inflation, in my opinion, has happened. The articulation of the June CPI, we can arguably be viewed as a lagging indicator. Yes, sorta. More about that in a second. I'm going over the reaction to the news, and I'll give you my analysis in 1 second. We see significant repricing across asset classes, and you could see certain economies that have really recognized and appreciated. Meantime, the bond yields are trading on the news as well. What are those bond yields doing? The bond yields were trading up relatively earlier today. I'll have more about them on evenings. Here's my takeaway of the situation. Joe Biden and Jay Powell have not gotten their job done. They've really not. I mean, they really have not gotten their job done. And they continue to not understand that their job needs to be done a certain way, and they're not pivoting. And as they continue to not pivot, the situation is not going to change. This has been my narrative on this channel since last February of this year. In February of this year, I said we're going into a recession because gasoline prices continue to go up. If gasoline prices go up, the CPI goes up, and Jay Powell raises interest rates, and you go into a recession. How many times have I said that on this channel? About 1,000 times. And what happened today? The same thing. Should I pull up the graphic? Yeah, let's pull up the graphic. Let's pull up the graphic. We already know this is how it works. If gasoline prices remain high, the CPI remains high. If the CPI remains high, then the Federal Reserve raises rates. This is what's happening again today, folks. Again, another week, another month, the same situation. Gasoline remains high, the CPI remains high, and the Federal Reserve will raise rates. Well, what happened? Last month, Joe Biden still did not get the 3.6 million barrels of gasoline missing per day bought, and so gasoline remained high. And then the CPI came in today. It remained higher than even the month before. And what is Jay Powell and the Federal Reserve going to do later this month at that FOMC meeting? My projection is coming up in a second. But first, let me explain to you what's going on. Is there anything good in this news? There is something good in this news. Your benefits if you're on SSI, SSDI, veterans benefits, RB, are going to give you a whopping, monstrous, I'm not trying to undervalue this, humongous increase. And that increase is going to be lifetime. If you've been with this channel for a long time, we've covered this. It was first phase stimulus, then it was what we've been talking about with swapping COLA for inflation, and now it's where we are right now. We already know the equation. We got the guidance in June when we heard from the Social Security's chief actuary, Steve Goss, who said, you know what, that May CPI is really high. I'm projecting your benefits to go up 8%. At the time, I said, no, I'm projecting 9%. And the Social Security Seniors Fund, which is a nonprofit organization, said 8.6%. Why did I say 9% at the time? Because I said, if gasoline remains high, then the CPI remains high. Well, what have I taught you as a viewer of this channel in the last 2 months? I taught you that we need to watch, like a hawk, like a purple hawk, the CPI released not today, but a month from today, and then the next 2 months thereafter. The July released in August, the September, and the July, the August, and the September, which were released a month later. Today's number, of course, is not the July number. It's the June number. Why? Because those 3 months determine how much your benefits go up. Let me make this very clear. Those next 3 months of CPI numbers are going to be the most important 3 numbers for you and your benefits, perhaps for the rest of your life. I'll tell you why. Because once your benefits go up, they never go down. We talked about this a long time on this channel, and I've always told you the importance of swapping COLA for inflation, or locking inflation, or locking in that high inflation rate. We talked about this back in March. I said you want to get that high inflation rate locked in before it doesn't go down. Well, it hasn't gone down. It hasn't gone down. And guess what? You're about to get locked in. Congratulations. You're about to get locked in because we're just 30 days away from the July number. That July CPI number is just coming around the corner. We're looking for, 30 to 60 days because you hear it a month later. It's the July, the August, and the September CPI. So you're going to be asking me, you've seen these articles, you've seen them floating around. Benefits could be going up 10.2%, a new article says today. I'll give you the analysis, how it calculates right now so you know the answer. You need to see what the CPI number will be next month, the month after that, and then the month after that, 3 more months. And if it's anything like today, folks, you're going to see a lot more in benefits. At least $3,600, possibly $4,800 more per year. Would you like $5,000 more per benefits? Yeah, it's automatic. You don't have to do anything. Let's go over the calculations right now. It is dependent upon the CPI-W. The CPI-W is a subsection of the number we saw today. That number we saw today was the CPI. It was 8.6% in May. Today it came in at 9.1%. If it comes in at 9.1% in July, you're in good situations, and August and September. And if it tracks even higher, you're even in better situations across the board. Now, that impact will be the raising up of your benefits. Let's go over why this is so important, because if gasoline prices remain high, you're going to get locked in with a great number. What else is going to help you is that Jay Powell has only one meeting before the September read. Let's go over, really like a meeting and a half. Let me go over the situation. Jay Powell and the Federal Reserve will meet in late July to determine how to raise your benefits. We're going to go over his number in a second. Then he's off in the month of August. So they have nothing to raise with interest rates to reduce inflation. Then September, they meet late in September. So the impact of September is already going to be felt. You're in a really good situation, folks. You're in a really good situation if you're on benefits. Now, that is why you can't wait to get these forcible checks in every U.S. state. There's an ebb and flow. There's a lot of money going on in this recording. I know it. I know what's going on. We got this massive raise of your benefits, $4,800. We have the Build Back Better Act coming in a few months. But first, we have the massive checks available today. And let's get those incredible checks today. Let's go over them right now. These incredible checks are huge and you deserve them. And what are they? These incredible checks became law months ago, and they are an approximate $100,000. They're four stimulus checks in every U.S. state. They are federal stimulus, approximately $100,000. You deserve it. You go get it. I'm going to show you how to get this whopping sums of money later in this recording. It's already law. It was done by executive action from Joseph Biden, passed in the month of March, and you qualify. Single individual, $75,000 less, go get it. Married couple, $150,000 less, go get it. If you're on benefits, if you're not, if you rent or you own, get that financial freedom. How do you do it? Become a member. Go right in this video right now. Become a member. What are you waiting for? Join the channel and get that incredible newsletter Monday through Friday from LALATE to get this huge sums of money. Go right in this video and become a member and get that incredible financial freedom. That membership newsletter coming Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via the YouTube alerts. Get that incredible newsletter. And let's recap all the sums of money so far, because I know that's a lot of money in only 20 minutes of a video. Whoa, you're like, oh, I'm out of breath. That's a lot of money. First, the four stimulus checks in every U.S. state, about $100,000. You qualify. I'll show you how to get it later in this recording. Second, the raising up of your benefits, an astronomical amount of money. That's about $4,800. It could be more for some of you. And it's just astronomical, but we have to really wait for that July, August, and September number to come in. But so far, it's looking better by the day. Third, the Build Back Better Act is going to a vote, and that would give you additional checks on top of that, about $15,000 to $80,000. Oh, that's a lot of money, LA. $180,000, $5,000. You just got me $185,000. I've only been watching you for 21 minutes. That's why you become a member of this channel. You watch this channel and get ready, because in less than a month, less than 90 days, less than the time that it takes for you to get out of those awful lobster shorts, the LALATE 2 and LALATE 3 channels are launching. Get ready. Have you subscribed to them? Oh boy. LALATE 2 will be going over this stimulus on a 24-hour, 7 days a week broadcasting schedule featuring live broadcasts. LALATE 3 will be going over the markets, Wall Street, stocks, bonds, and more. LALATE 2, on the other hand, will have humor and comedy, and LALATE 3 will have food and how to deliver incredible cooking to your home on a budget. Much of that footage has already been filmed with brand new shows coming to this channel as well. Boy, you got a lot coming to this channel, but let's go to my favorite cast of comedy characters. Is that cast of comedy characters sirloin? No, it's not. You know who I like. He's headlining Las Vegas with a new stand-up show. His name is J Bao. J Bao. J Bao. Okay, so breathe. J Bao and Joe Biden. They're really falling apart here. J Bao and Joe Biden don't understand that what they're doing doesn't work and are not pivoting, and they're not likely to pivot anytime soon. So what I need you to understand is that this is the reality of the situation. First, J Powell. J Powell is head of the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve governs monetary policy. They don't have a lot of tools, and they have a dual mandate to keep maximum employment and to keep price stability. Has he done good with either of them? No. Unemployment surging out of control. 230,000 new jobs. Claims we'll have the latest update on that number tomorrow on Mornings LA Live. But when we look at inflation, yeah, it's a joke. He hasn't done anything. And I got to tell you, there was once an interview I heard about a month ago that said, what's Jay Powell's number one thought in his mind? And they said his number one thought in his mind, this analyst said, it was really deep, but I got to tell you, I think it's accurate, is Jay Powell is walking the halls of the Federal Reserve and sees the pictures of other Fed governors on the walls and realizes he could go down in history as one of the worst ever. I have to understand, this is a guy that's done great stuff for a very long time, great stuff through the pandemic, and he's on the track to being the worst Fed governor ever. And I got to tell you, I told you it was going to happen. I told you it was going to happen in February. Because raising interest rates does not get down gasoline. And gasoline, if it remains high, then raises inflation. And then what does Jay Powell says? I'm going to raise interest rates again. And guess what? You're not getting down gasoline. Who's responsible for getting gasoline down? This guy. And he's absolutely done a deplorable job. I could go in really deep on this one, but I'm not. Yeah, you can say it yourself. There's only one way to get gasoline down. You buy the gasoline. You get it replaced. It's so simple. I got to tell you, when I record, when I'm on air, I always understand certain things may be a little bit complicated for some people to digest, and other things are easier for people to digest. Everyone in the sister and brother understands if there's not a lot of gasoline, it's more expensive. I mean, that's sort of simple. If there's less gasoline, it's more expensive. We already went through this once before. Gasoline shortage, it goes higher. What do you do when there's a gasoline shortage? You get gasoline. How much gasoline? This is what some people may know and some people may not know. That's why you watch this channel. The only way you get the gasoline is getting it from countries that have it. And they are Venezuela, Brazil, Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, OPEC Plus. And unless you get it from them, then gasoline remains high. I mean, it's so simple. It's very simple. And the White House really has never grasped this. And I don't think in my mind they will ever grasp it. And I really don't know what's going to happen. Now, gasoline has gone down. This is where it gets really confusing. And this is where it goes to a level of, sophistication. Follow with me. You're going to be able to follow this. If gasoline is now continuing day after day with the shortage of 3.5 million barrels of gasoline, why has gasoline now fallen to $98 international Brent crude when it was $120 on Memorial Day weekend, when it was $110 when Putin invaded Ukraine? You mean since Putin's invaded Ukraine, gasoline has gone down? Yeah. If you remember this channel, it's in the newsletter nightly. Gasoline has now gone down. Why? It's the traders who trade gasoline. They're betting on recession. They're betting on demand. I got to tell you, the head of ExxonMobil had a beautiful comment today. I did not bring it on camera because there's just a lot going on today. But he said, do not expect gasoline to stay down. It's not going to stay down. It pivots really quickly, and it could pivot right from 98, where it is today, 99 to 120. That's why you have to get the 4 stimulus check that is in every U.S. state. We're going to go over all these incredible checks in the second half of this recording. Step 1, go under this video, subscribe. Step 2, become a member. Get that incredible membership newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and get these 4 stimulus checks now in every U.S. state. Why would you wait to get these checks? It's a different year. It's a different way. Checks are done differently this time around. These checks were done by executive order, and I found them in the month of March when viewers said, LA, can you find me some checks? And I found them. Done by executive order by the President of the United States. That's why they're federal stimulus, averaging about $100,000. They're not coming from your states. They're not coming from the governor. They're coming from the federal government. They're coming from this building, the White House, by executive action passed the month of March. But the money's not going to be there forever. That's why you go get this money. You qualify. SSI, SSDI, veterans benefits. If you have children, if you don't have children, get it. Stay the second half. We're going to go over each of these checks one at a time. Become a member. That's what you got to do. You got to go under this video, join the channel. Become a member right now. Don't wait. And stay to the big second half. We got a lot coming up. We'll go over all those incredible checks in just a second. But first, here's a little bit about the community page. I'll be back with you in 60 seconds as America's most loved show of the midday continues its afternoons. See you back in 60 seconds. But first, here's a little bit about the community page. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. They're Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals. Reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now in a big second half for July 13th, 2022. Hope you're having a beautiful day. I am, and I'm glad you're back. Don't forget to join me tonight on Evenings LA in prime time at 5 o'clock and LA Live, airing on this channel. And get ready to subscribe to LA2 and LA3, the brand new two channels coming to this family. LA2 with lots of stimulus and LA3 with lots of financial news. First, did you become a member during the commercial break? I hope you did. Get that incredible membership newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we're going to go over all those incredible checks starting right now. These four stimulus checks made law by the President of the United States back in the month of March are huge, and you deserve them. And we're going to go over each of them starting right now. Single individual, $75,000 less, you qualify. Married couple, if you make $150,000 less, you qualify. Rent or own, if you have children, if you don't have children, if you're on SSI or SSDI, you qualify. Massive sums of money, really massive sums of money, about $100,000. If you make one call, if you make one push, you get one check. Let's say it's $800, let's say it's $5,000, let's say it's $8,000. You need to go back and keep on getting checks. I want people in the live chat to motivate other people. Post your success stories, motivate other people to do it across the board. If you're on social media, share this video, tag your friends, hashtag Purple Power, hashtag LA. Motivate other people to say, go get those checks, go get the money, do it right now. Motivation is very important because, we have tough times. We have tough times out there, and we keep a smiling face. We do our work, we do our money, and we get the money across the board. These checks are monstrous, and that is why I focus them so well for you. And as a longtime viewer, Carol says, Ella, you make it so easy. You put it together in a simple newsletter, which I'll explain to you in a second, for viewers to get. Let's look at each of these checks. You ready to get some checks? Take notes. Get out your LA worksheets. If you're a viewer right now, if you're a member right now, pull out your worksheets. They're in the membership newsletter. And let's go over each of these incredible checks starting right now. First check is $6,500. It's a four stimulus check in every U.S. state. It's called the Weatherizing Grant Check. And how do you get this wonderful check? Step one, you go right under the video and join the channel. Become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power Calcino VIP member. Become a member. Then get that membership newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via the member alerts, and go right down the membership newsletter to where it says Check A. Apply for Check A and get that money, $6,500 to $12,000. You're not done there yet. You're going to go down that membership newsletter also and apply for Check B. It is $15,000 to $80,000. For stimulus check in every U.S. state. How do you get it? Go right on this video, join the channel, and become a member. Get that member newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via the member alerts. Let's look and see how well you've done so far already in just 2 minutes. $12,000 here under Check A for members. Check B, $80,000. That's $100,000 of details for members right in that newsletter. We're not stopping there yet. We're going to go get some Check C's. Check C's are absolutely wonderful. They are rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and more. It is an MSC, monthly stimulus check on average. Many viewers are tracking at an average of $45,000. A lot of viewers have gotten over $100,000. Let's look at the success stories that members have gotten with these incredible checks and understand why they continue to go back and get more checks on a regular basis. These checks pay enormous sums of money, and you deserve it, so you go get it as well. Let's look at the success stories. From Nisi at $20,000 all the way up to Elizabeth at $27,000, Mark at $25,000. These are monies for rent. Go get Check C's. The utilities, look at that. Angela, $5,000, Nancy, $7,000. Mark's brother-in-law got $15,000. Go get Check C's. Look at these Snap. Mark's brother-in-law is getting $250,000 over 10 years for this channel. Let's look at the combinations. Combinations of people who have gotten one check and another check and another check, Check C. For example, you got the water bill, you got the electric bill, you got the gas bill, and you got the rent, or you got the mortgage, and you got the electric bill. Look at these numbers. Mark went from $32,000 higher. Nisi went from $23,000 higher. Let's see how much higher they went. Nisi went from $23,000 to $50,000. Mark went up to $166,000 because after this graphic, he went to 100 and then he got check B at $66,000. Lorraine went from $105 to $150,000. All right, let's pull back and go over what happens after you become a member. So after you become a member, Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, you'll get a YouTube alert for members written by me to you. The member alert will say new LA post at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. That's West Coast time. If you're not on the West Coast, then adjust accordingly. Look up what time zone you're in and adjust accordingly. Here's an example. If you're on the East Coast, you're 3 hours later. If you're in the Midwest, you may be 2 hours later. Watch for that alert from YouTube that says new LA post. The first line will say new LALATE newsletter. I'll have the date on it. That's the alert for the newsletter. You go down the alert, you click the link, and it sends you right into the alert. How do you make sure you get the newsletter after you become a member? First, you got to watch the time. So you have to make sure you have the understanding of what 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is. It's 10 o'clock Eastern. It's 9 Central, depending if you're Central or Eastern. Number 2, what you do also is make sure you have everything signed up correctly. So make sure you're a member. Go into this video, join the channel. Number 2, make sure you subscribed. Go into this video, hit that subscribe button. You're watching LALATE 1. And also go to the Feathers channel. There's a little bell. Make sure that bell is set to all notifications so you get all notifications when this happens. Then when you get that newsletter, you go right down in there and there's check A, you pounce and apply. Check B, you pounce and apply. Check C, you call and get these incredible sums of money. These sums of money are astronomical and you really deserve this sums of money. And this money is right now. It's not going to be around forever. And nothing ever will ever pay you $100,000. I'm very proud of the success stories of the viewers of the channel. Very proud of your success stories. Someone in the live chat last night got another $10,000. Someone a few days before that got over $12,000. If you've had a success story at any time, jump in the live chat right now and post your success stories. Let's go back to Nisi, Margaret, Lorraine, Johnny as well. What you do is you make the effort and you get the first check and then you keep on getting checks. If the first check was $800, don't worry, get another check. If the first call is a no, don't worry. You're going to have about a 50% rejection rate. I haven't done that in a while. Rejection's fine. It means you're putting in the effort. For every no, you're going to have a yes. So don't worry about rejection. It's a good thing. Now, the CPI raise of your benefits is something we're really tracking. It's going to be very exciting. Very exciting, because no one in our right mind would have thought that this raise of your benefits would be so astronomical. I mean, look at this graphic. I was just flipping through the graphics. This was the letter talking about raising up your benefits. This is the letter. I haven't featured on the channel for a long time. And now we're seeing the reality is your benefits are going up. I mean, can we just sit back and digest this and enjoy it for a second? Can we really just sit back and enjoy and savor this moment? Who would have known that this is going to happen, and who would have known it would happen in such a wonderful way? Let's go over what's happening right now. In 2020, people heard about the concept of SS300. And I got to tell you, at the time, 99.9% of questions were, whatever happened to SS300? 2021, we had new relief as it was being proposed as a fifth stimulus. 2022, we had new relief when we talked about Joe Biden swapping COLA for inflation. Now we don't have to worry about COLA being swapped for inflation because COLA is tied to the CPI-W and inflation is tracking so darn high that, yeah, I mean, you would still like it to be tracked to inflation, but this is so high, folks, you're in a really good situation. Can you imagine all that time that people were saying, whatever happened to the raise of my benefits? Whatever happened to that SS300, which was an acronym, an expression coined by me on this channel, which refers to Social Security 300, basically $300 more per month, SS300. Whatever happened was the big question mark of 2020. Viewer after viewer after viewer always asked it. Then we talked about swapping COLA for inflation. We always went on social media, tagging those elected officials, advocating purple power. Now it's happening. Now it's happening. Congratulations. We just have to see how big it is. Is it going to be $3,600 more per year? It's going to be $4,800 more per year. Is it going to be $5,000 more per year? It's going to be astronomical, and that's why you have to watch this channel. I adore the viewers and their comments. I had one come in from, what's her name, Melanie? I think it was Melanie. Another one from Margaret, sending me different press clipping articles. Same type of article. One article saying maybe your benefits are going up 10.2%. Another article saying maybe your benefits are going up 10.5%. I love that because the viewers understand this is happening. They understand why it's happening, and they understand how it's happening. You got to watch LA for many, many different reasons. And this is why you have to watch this channel. I've gotten it all right. I don't want to sound like I'm being pedantic or egomaniacal or anything like this, but you got to know the right financial news. You have to have the right financial news reported to you. You also have to have the right predictions reported to you. And you also have to have the right motivation and the right inspiration given to you to get money. I projected 8% inflation last year. No one else had it. I said it was going to be persistent. No one else said that was going to happen. I said that we're going into a recession in February this year. No one said it was going to happen. We are already in a recession. We've had two negative quarters of GDP growth. We just have the official announcement coming in on July 21. No one else said a recession in February this year. I said that the unemployment numbers are going to continue to track higher, that 200,000 is going to go to 230,000 new jobless claims per week. It has. Tomorrow we see the new labor number. It was 235 last week. I've also told you that 240, in my opinion, is going to start to spook the markets. They haven't gotten used to the idea that 230 is high. They think it's okay. It's not that great. I think 240 is going to say, oh, yeah, I think 240, 245 is going to, it's going to sort of wake their eyes up a lot. When the President of the United States says inflation is his top priority, it's not. It's really not, because he doesn't understand it, or he doesn't care to fire Brian Deese. Brian Deese is the problem of Joe Biden. It's not Joe Biden. It's his economic council. His economic council is a bunch of young Yale graduates who absolutely don't know anything about anything. Brian Deese's horrible. They understand that they want you to be driving electric cars, but they don't understand that we have an energy shortage. They don't understand that the way you solve an energy shortage is buying gasoline. If you don't buy the gasoline, then we go to rampant, pervasive, ingrained inflation. And let me end with that, because I haven't really discussed it. Pervasive inflation is very troubling, and we never really discussed this before on this channel until the comment came from Jay Powell with Liz Warren at that Senate Banking Committee last month. It was a great comment by Jay Powell. He says, the problem with inflation is that if it stays around too long, then people just sort of assume that this is the prices they'll have to pay forever. They get used to seeing milk not at $2 a gallon, but $3 a gallon. They'll say, I'm just used to $3 or $4. They're used to not paying any more $3 at the pump, and used to just paying $4 or $5 at the pump. And I think that's what's going on. Think in your mind, if you're a driver of a car, when gasoline started to surge higher when Putin invaded Ukraine, don't you remember back in March, like I did, how we all thought, oh, gasoline's getting real expensive. No one's going to be on the road. Remember that? We all sort of said that to our minds. Gasoline's going really expensive. No one's going to be on the road. And yet people got on the road. We said gasoline's going to go through the roof, and yet no one's going to buy an airline ticket because, the jet fuel is going to be through the roof, and no one's going to pay $500 for a ticket. They still are. The airlines continue to push the cost to you, and you continue to, people continue to pay for those items. Certain parts of this economy have shown rampant spending, and yet when you look at the core of the data today, it's bubblish. I don't mean bubblegum. I don't mean bubblegum. Juicy fruit. Yeah, I don't mean that type of bubblegum. It's bubblish. That the personal's number went down. If your real wages went down in the last month, and yet the numbers went through dramatically for inflation, then, there's a big issue. Airline fares are still up 34% year to date. They only fell 1.8% in the month of June. So they didn't, the airfares are through the roof, and yet the number of tickets sold only fell 1.8%. And meat and poultry is still up 11.8%. Here's the real income down. Real income is down 3.6% year to date. So if you're making money, maybe your check is more, but when you look at it based upon how much it costs to live, it's down 1% in 1 month. There's 12 months of the year, last time I checked. And it's down 3.6% for the year. The supply chain disruption may be improving, but when the White House says tackling inflation is my top priority, it's not. It's not. You haven't done anything with gasoline. You haven't gone on and bought gasoline. And until you buy gasoline, then you're not going to get it done. When you look at inflation, U.S. inflation is about 9%, which is the breadth of the price pressure, which is really concerning for the Federal Reserve. James Knightley, chief investment economist at ING, right today, with supply conditions showing some signs of improvement. So he's agreeing with the other analysts. The onus is on the Fed to hit the brakes via higher rates to allow demand to get matched to better supply conditions. I don't know if I agree. I think that the problem is the gasoline, and raising those rates is just going to be very troubling. That's why you got to get this money in every U.S. state. On tonight's Evenings LA, we're going to go over all this incredible money at a time. But here's what you need to do. Go right on this video. Go right on this video and get that forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. Get it right today. Get that money. Why would you wait? Nearly $100,000. The Build Back Better Act has $15,000 to $80,000, so this is more money than that. The Build Back Better Act requires you to do something, so this does as well. And this is executive action. The Build Back Better Act is going to pay you money, but not going to pay you money in the month of July. This is money right now, not 5 months from now, not 5 weeks from now, not right now. You qualify. You qualify for this money even more bluntly than ever before. Financial freedom you need right now. Get that, become a member. And then when Build Back Better Act becomes law, have you get that money as well. Become a member, get these incredible sums of checks. Go right on this video and become a member. Get that financial freedom and do yourself a favor. Go under this video and subscribe to the new LALATE 2 and LALATE 3 coming in just days from now. It's a big, bold, beautiful day. I'll see you tonight on Evenings LALATE. God bless. Stay informed, stay focused. Have a beautiful afternoon. Remember, you're watching LALATE, the channel that gets it right, that tells you where it's going correctly, and prepares for your financial freedom in every single day. God bless. Have a beautiful afternoon and stay with LA for more.